Hi, everybody. This is Elena of the Witch's Box, and I'm here with our Friday live guided meditation that we do every Friday, unless I'm taking a break. Also, I kind of smoked myself out with the incense, so excuse me if you see a lot of smokiness everywhere. We started big this morning. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna wait a little while for people to get here. But if you're joining us, what we do is get together on Fridays, just lit a candle to honor our time here and to announce to our guides and to our ancestors and to our deities that we're here for some sacred work. We get together and we do a guided meditation. It's a practice that we can do weekly. It's easy, it's simple. I guide you through it. And it just gives us all an opportunity to come back into center, to come back into stillness, to do some deeper work. And hopefully nourish ourselves before we get into the weekend and before we start a whole new week. You know that I talk a lot about this. I think that having a spiritual practice, whatever the form, is really important because it really helps to cultivate those sensing muscles, those deep presencing muscles, and our capacity to really be in connected relationship with the seen and the unseen. So it's a service that we provide here. I love doing this. I love guided meditations. It's kind of one of my things that I just love to do the most. So here we are. And I don't actually know if you can hear me. Hold on a second. I'm not fully set up because I was so caught up with, oh my goodness. I was so caught up with my incense this morning that I didn't fully set up. Hola, Esther, how are you? Saludos from Bermuda. Girl, you're in Bermuda. How fun. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Hi, Sylvia. It's good to see you too. Oh, Bermuda. I'm down with a vacation soon. I'm desperately in need. Oh my goodness. Let me have a real quick drink. So I have to tell you, I don't think that my microphone is picking it up, but there is some construction person out there somewhere who is sawing something in half. So it's actually a little loud and obnoxious. I'm sorry. I hope that that really doesn't come through at all. It doesn't seem like it's being picked up on my microphone, but you never know. Couldn't be helped. I don't know who they are. They're out there somewhere in the neighborhood. We have a lot of well, there's always construction up here on this mountain going on during the summer months, but because it's also summertime, it's a good time to cut the logs for firewood for winter. And so oftentimes when there's a saw loud and proud out there, it's usually that. Hey, Claudia, welcome. Hi, White Wolf Wish. What? Oh my God. White Wolf Witch. Hi, welcome. Yes, I'm back. And everyone hears my voice. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I had my microphone far away from me, but I brought it back in because I was just getting back into my groove. I haven't done this in, I don't know, I think it's been like 2 months. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes for people to arrive, and then we'll talk a little bit about the meditation. In terms of announcements, I think I mentioned this. I know I have. I've mentioned this already. August boxes are being mailed out throughout the weekend and into probably next Tuesday. So those will be hitting the mail soon. You should get a shipping email in the next couple of days. I'm probably going to run labels after I get off of this live. And what else do I need to announce? That's it. We have a virtual retreat coming up soon at the end of this month for healing the witch wound. It's going to be a really beautiful and very powerful virtual retreat. We're going to be in it, immersed in it for 2 straight days, Saturday and Sunday. So people who work can actually participate. I know that the 3-day weekends can be really intense, but we're going to cover a lot. It's a really important topic for witches. It's a wound that we all carry, particularly as ancestral witches. And what I mean by ancestral witches is not necessarily that you have witch in your bloodline, but once you become something, you are part of an identity, you become part of that ancestral group. And we are all part of the witches' ancestral lineage. And as such, we carry the wound of witches. And so it'll be a really great retreat. I'm super looking forward to it. And that's happening. What are the dates? I think it's the 26th and 27th, the 27th and 28th, whatever that weekend is. I don't remember the exact date, but we still have availability open for that. So go to the website and you can check out the page by looking at the menu bar. The link to that retreat is up there, and you can check out the details and register because it's going to be really amazing. So that's the other announcement. Hi, Francesca, welcome. And I think that that's it for my announcements for right now. Other than for those of you who weren't here on Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm back on my regular YouTube schedule. So next Tuesday we'll have a live, and then next Friday we'll have another guided meditation. So we're quasi back on track, not fully on track, but quasi back on track. So there's that. All right, today's meditation doesn't require a lot of visualization, but it is, and it's a fairly simple one. We've done something similar to this in the past, but it's kind of to commemorate the fact that we're back. We're picking this back up again. Also, as many of you know, I'm recovering from being sick for like the last couple of weeks, and so it's a really good one to do when you've been sick or you've been out of sorts. It's about coming back into the body. The body is such an integral part of who we are, and I think that most of us have a lot of baggage from some Abrahamic religion or another where the body is always looked at as separate from the soul. And I'm here to tell you that no, it's not. And the body is such an integral part of who we are, and it's an integral sensing organ, it's an integral spiritual organ, the whole thing. And coming into the body, being fully embodied, is such an important part of our healing, but also an important part of our power. So even though this is seemingly a simple guided meditation, it is a really important one to practice regularly. Just kind of get you centered and get you back in. And oftentimes we don't want to be in because there's a lot of discomfort in being in our bodies. We have a lot of pain and baggage that we store in our tissue. And oftentimes we kind of exist just outside of our bodies or right above our neck, like all in our head. And coming back into the body means feeling things that the body's remembered. So that can be really uncomfortable. It can be something that we really try really hard to avoid, but the healing won't come until we get back in. We need to come back into our bodies. So it's great to do for regular centering. It's great to do when, like for me, I've been sick. I've been just kind of like achy. It's nice to kind of come back into the sense of refuge in our bodies. So it's good for those things. I love it. More Elena time. Hey, Layla, welcome. Hello. Barbara, hi. Cheryl, hello. I'm glad that you made it to the live as well. Oh, Barbara, you live in Uvalde. I'm so sorry. I can't imagine. We have a beautiful memorial here in town. I don't even know who did it, but we have along one of our, we only have really 1-2 major roads. We don't even have lights or intersections here in town. We're so small, but I don't know who it was. Someone put like a chair for each person who died in the shooting, with a flag and like a love letter, just kind of as a memorial for those who fell. It's really quite touching to have that in town. I can't imagine the trauma that all of you are feeling. It's extraordinary. So big love to you, and I'm glad that you're here for this as well. I think that that's it. If there aren't any questions or comments, this is definitely, I want you guys to get into the habit of doing this at every guided meditation, but for this one also in particular. If you don't have your journals, go grab your journal, because it's important to always come out of these things and then jot immediately down whatever has come up or whatever was of note. It really helps us to cultivate that deeper sensing, that deeper listening, because a lot of information is always coming up, but we miss it because it doesn't come up in the way that we expect that it will come up. So when we come out of a meditation like this, or any work, really, any meditation, any ritual, any spell, always write down what were your experiences, both mentally, but also sensorially, right? So was there any physical sensation? Were there any like weird, random, floating new memories that came up, or thoughts or imagery, whatever it is that kind of came up into your sensory field, it's important to write down because it really helps you cultivate your deeper listening, which is also an integral skill for a witch. So there you go. Okay, and I didn't think I was going to need these. Excuse the rustling, but my throat is still not used to all this talking. Oh, this is super loud. I'm sorry. Let me prepare myself. I didn't think that I was going to need them today because my throat and coughing has been better. But now that I'm talking a lot and I did smoke myself out with all this incense, I'm going to try to keep the lozenges sound in my mouth to a minimum. Forgive me if it's there. But if you feel distracted by it while I'm leading you through the guided meditation, use that as an opportunity to come back to the breath and come back to your internal focus. See, we can use everything. Okay. All right, my loves. If you have your candles, your incense, all the things that you need for your meditative practice, go ahead and bring those closer now and begin to light your candle. And we're going to go in. All right. When you're ready and you're comfortable, you can start by closing your eyes and tuning into the natural flow of your breath. Now slowly begin to breathe with intention so that you're lengthening your in-breath and deepening how far that air flows into you. And you're savoring as much of that air as you can by letting it go slowly. Like it's almost painful. Not painful in a physical sense, but it just sort of aches to let it go. But you let it go slowly, savoring how much of that you were able to take in. And really languish here so that in the most positive way, so that every time you take in that long, deep, slow breath, and then you let it go slowly, you're just savoring how much it really nourishes you. Let your breath become a steady anchor for you, flowing in and out. And whenever a distraction comes through, just return to the breath. It doesn't have to be filled with effort. It's just a simple pivot. Return to the breath over and over and over again. Allow each inhale to bring you further and further into your body, opening you up to receive. And then with each exhale, let it become a release of tension and anything that is not serving you right now. Let each exhale clear you of tension and thoughts and lists. This is a tool for you to use. Now, as you breathe deeply, allow that air to continue to permeate all of your body so that you're breathing with all of yourself, not just your lungs. Yes, your lungs expand and bring in the air, but that air comes in everywhere, filling your arms and your chest and your abdomen and your hips and your legs and your feet. All of you is breathing, and all of you is receiving. And now begin to turn your attention to your feet. Check in there. Is there any tension, tightness, sensation? Wiggle your toes a little bit, feeling the boundaries of the skin and the way that each part of your feet articulate. If you feel the impulses, move your feet and ankles and really allow yourself to tune into how they feel when they move. Is it a smooth movement, or is there some tightness or crunching in the articulation? There's no right and wrong here, but you really just want to get intimate with what's happening there in your feet. So every little sensation, every bit of information is a way to connect. Now relax them and begin to consider all the work that your feet do for you. The weight that they carry, the terrain that they've covered, and consider what they have not been able to do for you, either through injury or inability. Again, there's nothing wrong or right here. It's just about intimacy and checking in with the fullness of what this relationship is. And while fully tuned into the way they feel right now and the work that they do, give them your loving gratitude. And let it be a two-way communication if any information from them comes up. Now tune into your calves. If you can, stretch and contract them by moving your feet at your ankles. How do your calves feel? What sensations come up when you move those muscles slightly? Can they be moved? What is the state of these muscles and the bones and the body part and that body part right now? If judgment begins to come up for you, honor that as well, acknowledging that's there, that lives there as well. And then kindly put it aside and check in with just what is, without the judgment or without the story. What is the state of your calves right now? How do they feel? Consider all the work that they do for you, the history and maps that they know in their cells because they've walked you there, they've moved you there. Give them your loving gratitude. Allow stillness for anything that might come up. Now move your attention up to your knees. Do they articulate smoothly? Do they work hard for you? Do they not work as well as you'd like? Have they sustained injury in your life? What is the state of your knees at this moment? How do they feel? What are you grateful for in your relationship to your knees and what they have held for you? Can you shower them with love? Can you give them a soothing balm of love? Remember to keep anchored in your deep, slow, rhythmic breath as you travel up your body. And when you're ready, move your attention to your pelvic region. This is the seat of your being, of your body, literally and energetically. Consider all the history here. In this space, we have our sexual history, our physical history, our ancestral history, the way we root to tribe and to belonging. And so much of your personal makings has been affecting you here and has been guided by the root of your existence right here. This is a powerhouse place in your body with a lot of charge. So check in with the sensations and emotions that might come up here. Do you feel this area of your body? Is there tightness or woundedness, injury? Is there health or dis-ease? Allow yourself to explore what exists there right now. Honor all things that come up for you, all feelings, all thoughts, all sensations. Claim them as your own. This is about your makings and your history. There's nothing wrong here, even the uncomfortable. Can you find gratitude and love to whisper into the bowl of your pelvis for all that exists here and is true? Now move up to your belly. Is it digesting? Is it empty? Is it holding tension and emotion right now? What is the history of this part of your body? What has it done for you? What challenges has it had? Inventory as much as you can and then choose to love. Choose to be grateful. Whisper those feelings to it, embracing your journey together. Now migrate your attention to your chest. This is the space of your heart and your lungs and the constant ebb and flow that occurs here. Here we have air and electricity. We can also have tension and illness. But both your heart and lungs sustain your life with their constant dance. And they also take the emotional hits and waves and triumphs of your life. Feel your heart beating. It is a miracle. It's pervasive, it's constant. And though it may falter, it has been there with you from the beginning. And then feel that beautiful airflow in and out of your lungs to the pace of your intentioned breath. This is a sacred dance that exists inside of you. It is of you. What does emotion feel like here? Is your heart heavy with unfelt emotions? Is it joyous and free? How does it feel when you consider all that it holds for you? What comes up here when you go still and just listen? Give your heart and lungs your gratitude, your love. Feel the depth of what exists here and the bond between you. When you're ready, move your attention to the length of your arms and hands. Travel down each one, calling to mind all the work, all the hugs, all the embraces and movements and manifesting and reaching and receiving that your arms and hands do every single day. Feel the history of your life here. The injuries, the pains, the discoveries, the challenges. It's a whole life's worth. Can you find a way to embrace them for all of their embracing? Can you shower them with gratitude and love for what they know and what they do and what they don't do? Because although some of us may not have both hands and both arms, the not being there is also part of the energetic body and worthy of gratitude. Take a moment to allow for some feedback to come to the surface from your arms and hands at this time. Now turn your attention to your throat and neck. This is your access point, your voice. It isn't just physical, but emotional, intellectual, and active. This is a point of receiving and giving in your body. Your neck and throat holds the sacred voice that you possess. It is also your place of power, one of several in your body. Consider the challenges that you've had here, the times that you couldn't say what you wanted and needed, the times in which you did say exactly what you wanted and needed. Consider the words of love that you have uttered, the words that have healed, the words that have manifested, and the words that have hurt and diminished others, the words that have diminished you. It all exists here. So consider the totality of your voice's history and what has been done with your voice, what you have done with your voice. Honor all of it. Embrace it. Love it. Thank it. And allow stillness for it to tell you anything that it needs to tell you right now. Now bring your attention to your mind, this mysterious powerhouse that holds secrets and history and challenges and brilliance and so much more. Consider injuries and challenges and function. Consider the times that you have felt at odds with it. Consider its physical matter and the mystery that it is. Consider how much learning you've done in your life and how much more learning it can take. Consider that part of who you are is in the stuff of this brain matter. Consider that it's yours. It too, like every other part of you, is a miracle, extraordinary, capable of many things. And shower it with love and gratitude, asking for any information it wants to make you aware of right now. Now, releasing all of that, return to your breath. Let it be deep and long and cleansing. Let it be the conduit through which you create space in your physical body. And ask your body what it is you need most from me right now. Ask your body, what do you need most from me right now? Everything is an answer. So allow anything that wants to come up bubble to the surface. Acknowledge what you've been told and what that brings up for you. And return to your breathing, checking in to make sure that the tension is released as you can. And then slowly make your way back to presence and to the space that you're in, opening your eyes when you feel complete to join the group once more. And before you comment in the chat section, take some time to journal anything that needs to be remembered. And then return to the we. So that is it feels like it could be a complicated one, but it's not. It's fairly easy. You don't necessarily need to listen to me guide you through to do this on your own because you can just follow the map of your body. But it's good to do regularly to check in, to feel in, and to ask what needs to be known from that part of your body at this time. It's a really beautiful way to get back into center with yourself and embodied. And it's also a little bit more challenging, but a great practice to have when it comes to facing and acknowledging the judgment that we might have and the discomfort that we might have, or even the anger we might have towards certain body parts that may not have been fully capable or able throughout our lives, or that don't function the way that we would want them to. It's also, it depends on what school of thought you belong to, but even when you have a body part, let's say, that's missing, you still have a complete energetic body. And that doesn't mean that you are not physically complete. You are complete as you are, how you are, no matter what that might look like. But there's still an energetic body there, partly because there's an expectation that there should be a limb there or a body part there where there isn't one. And when we tap into that, when we try to feel into that space, we can find that there's a lot of information being held there, even if there isn't anything quote unquote physical there, if that makes sense. And so if you find, or if you are someone who doesn't have a particular body part, still check in there. Don't overlook that space. That space holds a lot of charge. That space holds a lot of expectation. That space holds emotion, even if there isn't something physical in that space. So definitely make sure to keep that part of the map in place for yourself. There's a lot to be gained in checking in there. The other part of it is, as well, is if there's paralysis, still do the feeling, still check in for sensation. Oftentimes the sensations that we feel, as we know, with circumstances like phantom pain, there is a neurological map in place in our brain for those parts of our bodies that we think that we can't feel or we don't feel anymore. There is still a lot of energetic information there. So don't skip over those parts. Definitely still tap in, because the amount of emotion and story and oftentimes judgment that we have over the lack of function is still held there and has a lot of information to give you. Yeah. And then also taking the time to practice the love letter or the love words or the gratitude for all of it, regardless of whether we like it or not, is really incredibly healing. and it can be really challenging. Excuse me. So learning through the practice of coming up with what you could possibly be grateful for can be incredibly revolutionary in your healing process with your body. And by healing, I don't necessarily mean that function might return if you don't have function there, but healing in the sense that you become integrated and embraced and whole, and there isn't a part of you that you're actively in denial of, or actively in resistance to, or actively in anger towards, right? Because we're so oftentimes compartmentalized in that way without recognizing this is still who we are. This is still part of who we are. This is part of a whole. And when we're in active denial or anger or judgment to part of our whole, we become very fragmented. And it very much depletes our power and our health and our capacity to really fully live like that. You're welcome. Thank you, Ralph. Ralph mentioned that the sound went low. Two things were going on. I coughed a few times, so I kept lowering my microphone volume, but also hammering started happening out there and all sorts of stuff. So I was trying to mitigate all the noise that was coming in from outside and from me. Hey, Iron Dogger, welcome. You're welcome for this. Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one. And you can linger in this longer. Certainly you can drag this out, and not drag it out in like a negative way, but you can lengthen this to a very long, deep dive meditation by really lingering in spaces for a long time. I really believe that there's no end to the amount of information that you can gain from each part of your body if you spend some time in each like this. So you can certainly make it a lot longer, and really dive into what's there. So like that, it's good to be back, even though I'm still a little raspy. I had a moment, like I was slipping in and out of the same meditation with all of you. I didn't do my full body, but every once in a while I kind of just checked in. And from my throat and my voice, I got you probably came back a little faster than you should have. Like I got that message because trust me, I feel great, actually. I feel so much better. In comparison to how I felt, I feel like $1,000,000. But clearly, there is parts of my body, my lungs and my throat are still recovering. So there's information all the time. Here we are. So hopefully by next week, I'll sound a little bit better. I will definitely be resting my voice throughout the weekend and throughout the rest of the day. And hopefully all of my herbs and things will help kind of replenish what was lost in being ill. Hey, Tanny, welcome. All right, my loves, that's it for today. Again, I had announcements at the beginning of this live. You can go back to the very beginning to hear those. Nothing really major. Boxes are going to start going out tonight throughout next Tuesday. And Healing the Witch Wound retreat at the end of this month. Registration is still open for that. I will probably close registration for that. Excuse me, I think August 24th, if I'm not mistaken, and I have my dates right. So you have time, but it's there. At some point, I'll probably cap how many people, but we're not there yet. So there's still space available. And that's it for my announcements. Have a wonderful weekend. Go do something fun. We need more fun in our lives for the love of all things. Even if it's frivolous, just go do something fun for yourself. It's incredibly healing and nourishing, and we all need a little bit more of that, or a lot more of that. Oh, Cheryl, you're recovering too. Big healing vibes to you. Absolutely. It happens. It's part of being human. We all need to relearn how to just allow for rest. I'm still going to be forever, hopefully never, always forever, learning that lesson. So like that. Hello, Francesca. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Love you all. Take care and have some fun this weekend. Yeah? Okay. Bye.